So here we have it, another season, another Premier League season, and I don't do this, well, I forget to do this every year, but I thought I'd document my predictions because it's probably going to be the most competitive race in years. I think that Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City all have a shot of winning it. I'll tell you who I think will win it, and I'll tell you the reasons behind it. I think Chelsea are going to win it, and I think the reason for that is mainly because of the signing of Lukaku, and actually all four have detractions as to why they can't win it. I think in terms of, if you ask me who should win it, it should be Manchester City with the depth they have. They have basically two full teams, but my heart just says Chelsea. I think that they have a great spine to the team. I think Mendy's a great goalkeeper. I think that they have a great centre-back in Saar coming in. I think that they've got a really good system and probably the best manager in Tuchel. So I think, for me, I think 1 and 2 will be City and Chelsea. And I think the main reason for that rationale is twofold. I don't think Liverpool have really strengthened how they need to. I don't think that they've got the depth on the bench. I think they've got a great first 11. I think they've probably got maybe the most high intensity first 11 out of all four teams. I just don't know if they can keep out. I think they're a Jota, Salah or Van Dijk injury away from crumbling, so I think there's too much heavy reliance on there. I think Man United's biggest crutch, even with the Sancho and Varane additions, are that in effect they're heavily still basically, I think they're in effect, their biggest weakness is their manager and his lack of ability to basically adapt to the tactics. I also don't think he knows his best 11. I think Maguire and Shaw are sick. I think Varane is going to do well with Wan-Bissaka. I don't think it's the back line. I think that the real issue is I can't really see the creativity in the goals. I don't think they've got the creative midfielder that's come in yet. I don't think Pogba plays the same for them as he does with France. If they had any brains, they'd probably go out and buy Kante, but I think that's impossible. So yeah, I creativity, and I don't think they have an out-and-out goal scorer. Martial, I mean, he's been promising for what, like 6-7 years, so he's not going to do anything. So I think, firepower and goal scoring, I think is something they need to address. And I don't think, putting another pacey player on the wings, a la Dan James, he's just a better Dan James, isn't he? Southgate obviously didn't pick him for a reason. I don't think he's going to lead Man United to the title. It leaves Chelsea and City 1 and 2. So I think we go Man United 4th, just because I don't think Oli has the pedigree. I think he's the weakest manager out of the three. I think you then go for Liverpool as 3, with Klopp thinking that there's an injury. Jota's been injury prone, or Jota. Salah, Salah's had a great record. Mane, depends really on Mane, how Mane stacks up, and I'm not sure if he will. And then you've got, TAA and Van Dijk, proper firepower. But yeah, like I said, no strength in depth. The reason why Chelsea do is they've got great young options off the bench. They've obviously got Pulisic, who won't get a look in. They've got Lukaku now. And if City sign Kane, and I'm basing it on the fact that they may not get him, I think it's going to be a different ballgame. But I think Chelsea with Lukaku, Kante, Mendy, Azpilicueta, who's swan song, I just feel they'll win it. They also don't go many years without winning it. I know they won it 04, 05 and then 05, 06. I think the next one was under Ancelotti, and then Mourinho came back, won it. They went a year without winning it, then Conte won it. But they've gone a long time without winning it. There's been Man City and Liverpool dominance in the last 4 years, and I just think they don't go that long without winning it. Tuchel's obviously got the momentum behind him. And Guardiola always finds a way to fudge it. I just don't know if they'll have the same intensity. Don't get me wrong, Man City should win the league. They should be winning it with subsequent ease, with the squad they have, with the depth they have. Adding Grealish to a squad. The difference between City and the rest of the teams in the league is that they could have 3-4 key players get injured and they could still win the league. You could have KDB and Grealish out, and I think you'd have Foden or Sterling step up. So I think, in that sense, they have a massive advantage, because even Chelsea are Kante and Lukaku injuries away from fading. I just have a feeling that Lukaku won't get injured. I have a feeling Kante won't get injured, and I have a feeling Tuchel will keep them quite streamlined in basically leading them to a push to win the league. So, in effect, I think Chelsea will win it, and that's my reasoning why. I think going down is probably a bit harder. I think probably Southampton, my heart says, and then I'd probably say Brentford to stay up, just because they're probably going to get 3 points against Arsenal tonight. Ivan Toney with a brace, he'll probably destroy us. Brilliant. Arsenal are shit, by the way. Like, I mean, forget Arsenal, man. But I think Brentford will have the goals to stay up. I think that's been the big issue for teams that have come up. So, you know, they've got a great goal scorer in him. I think Norwich and Watford and Southampton to go down. And going on to the FPL team, obviously, it's like 6 p.m. right now, so half an hour is the deadline. I think that the must-have players, you know, you look at the distribution of points across the last X amount of seasons, 5 seasons or so, and I mean, you know, the stalwarts, like, you've got to have Trent in your squad, you've got to have Salah in your squad, you've got to have Fernandes in your squad, and, you know, I think the strikers, you're probably going to have Kane at some point, meaning lining up 4-5-1, which I think is the way to go, especially if he moves to City. And then, because I think the key thing for fantasy this year will be capitalising on the midfielders. There's a lot of wingers who play as forwards, so you've got Greenwood and Jota, who I think are exceptional value, and I think that's going to be the play. Greenwood, Jota, one of Mahrez or Ferran Torres, because Gabriel Jesus is shit, and he's not going to see the light of day. He's had too many chances, and I just don't think they can offload him. So, you know, fantasy-wise, best of luck to everyone. Best of luck to everyone who has a team running in the race. We've got no shot. I'm an Arsenal fan. It's going to be dire. We're going to lose tonight. You know, if I was a betting man, I'd put a lot of money on it. I think Ivan Toney will put us to the sword. No Elba, no Lacquer. Will Iron, disaster class. Hopefully he goes back on tour with the Black Eyed Peas or something. But yeah, so, you know, that's the season preview, and hopefully, you know, I can be back doing some more videos discussing some more of the season in depth.